Now, I want to ask you a question. How confident are you of predicting when a mob of your cattle will reach target specs for market? Fat depth, live weight, carcass weight. It'd be great to be that much more certain, wouldn't it? Well, there's a new calculator available from the MLA website, which is proving to be a phenomenal prediction tool. Tim Dawson has the story.
Trevor Jorgensen has a good eye for cattle. He and his wife Colleen run some 1,200 beef cattle at Delungra in New South Wales, and they know a thing or two about finishing a steer to market specs. But even they would admit that nailing it is not always the easiest thing in the world. Lately, Trevor's taken some of the guesswork out of the job by adding the BeefSpecs calculator to his range of decision-making tools.
Our steers end up in the heavy domestic trade. That's they go to Cargill at Tamworth and that sort of heavy domestic breakup market. We aim for about 300 kilos dressed. Their top rates between 290 and 315. Milk and two tooth with 6 to 17 mils of fat.
Up to 25% of Australian beef cattle fail to make targets like these for hot standard carcass weight, P8 fat, marbling or other specifications. The financial loss can be as much as $105 per head, and across the industry, millions of dollars. That's one of the reasons why MLA, the Beef CRC and the New South Wales DPI have launched the first stages of BeefSpecs Calculator, a free computer-based predictive tool on the MLA website.
BeefSpecs is quite a simple prediction tool. It's used to predict carcass weight and P8 or rump fat thickness in beef cattle, and it does that by using a range of animal inputs, production inputs and management inputs.
Those inputs include starting live weight, P8 fat depth and frame score, and info about feed type, intended HGP use, and the date you want to sell. The current version is for Boss Taurus steers, with work already underway to include other cattle types. New South Wales DPI beef technical specialist Bill Hoffman conducted a validation study, including some of the Jorgensen steers.
But in the end, basically it ended up pretty much spot on. There was less than half a mil difference in what it predicted to what the steers actually dressed out at. I think they were supposed to have 11 mils of fat on them, it predicted, and I think they ended up with 10.7 average right through on the 3 lines of steers, so it ended up being pretty close to the mark.
Most beef cattle producers know the market they're trying to finish their cattle for, and they already have a plan in place to meet the specifications of that market. So what can BeefSpecs offer them?
We have a time frame when these steers are going to be gone, and then there's more coming on or whatever, and at least with this we can look out 2 or 3 months ahead and have a fair idea whether those steers are going to fit into that market that we've aimed for, or if we're going to need to supplementary feed some to finish them to get them to that stage, or maybe even sell some of the lighter steers as feeder steers to make more room if the season's starting to cut out.
I guess the other way you might use it is it's also going to give you an indication, are you actually going to get anywhere near the target specification? Because if you're not, it'll give you the opportunity to target those animals at another market.
The plans for future versions will make it a more comprehensive predictive tool.
Intention with BeefSpecs is certainly to expand it beyond its current carcass weight and carcass fatness prediction, and look at a whole heap of carcass attributes like retail beef yield, marbling, rib fat thickness, ossification, etc. Ultimately, we want BeefSpecs to be able to predict most, if not all, of those characteristics that go into quite complex grading systems like Meat Standards Australia.
While it's available on its own, the calculator fits neatly into MLA's comprehensive More Beef from Pastures program. As a producer advocate for more beef from pastures, Trevor spends a fair bit of his time sharing his experience with other producers, and there's no doubt that he'll be telling producers about the BeefSpecs calculator.
I'd definitely recommend it to producers because it's certainly easy to use and it doesn't create much more work at all really, and just to give them an idea or a better idea of maybe where their steers are up to in their finishing phase and knowing where they're going to be at a certain time.